I'm Robert Estrin here at livingpianos.com with another show for you. Today the question is, what is a pitch raise? You may have heard this term bandied about and wonder, what the heck is that? Well, it's nothing to be scared of, but it's something you should be aware of. Perhaps you have a piano you haven't tuned in years, or you bought a used piano and you figure, oh, let's just get it tuned up and it sounds pretty good. And the tuner comes there and goes, oh, this piano needs a pitch raise. And you go, what? It sounds pretty good to me. What does that mean exactly? Well, there was a time, if you go back hundreds of years, before there was established pitches. That is to say, an A on one instrument might not be the same as an A on another instrument. Pitches varied quite a bit. Over time, pitches stabilized, and A became a standard pitch, A 440, which sounds like that. 440, what does that number represent? It represents the number of vibrations per second. And in fact, it's all mathematics. Every time you double your vibrations, if you go to 880, you get the same note an octave higher. They're just how many times the the string is moving back and forth. So that is the standard pitch. Now, why is it a concern if your piano is not up to pitch? Why, if it needs a pitch raise? There are several reasons why this is vital. One is if your piano is under pitch and you decide, well, I don't care if it's under pitch, but then you have somebody comes, maybe a friend plays violin or clarinet, they come over, oh, let's play something together, and you try to play and you realize you're playing in two different keys and it won't work. But perhaps even a more fundamental reason that you need to have your piano up to pitch is because pianos are made to sound their best when they're tuned to the pitch that they were manufactured to produce. So if you have a piano, for example, that is dropped and pitched, let's say an entire half step, oftentimes it's just a semitone, so it doesn't sound, it's actually between two notes. But you're supposed to have a piece that sounds like this, and it sounds like this. Well, that's a problem if you're playing with other musicians, but more than that, the whole piano will have a dull quality. Now, what does it take to take it up to pitch? You figure, well, you're tuning it up anyway, just tune it up to pitch, no big deal. Well, there are a number of issues here. Number one, there are about 20 tons of string tension if you collectively, if you take all of the strings and the tension it exerts on the plate. And so if it's all under pitch and you tune all of them up, suddenly everything is flexed tremendously. You're adding thousands of pounds potentially of additional tension. So the bridge, the soundboard, the entire piano is suddenly being flexed in ways that it hasn't in years, and it could cause problems. Worse than that, unless a tuner really knows what they're doing, you could start breaking strings. It's important to have a technician who understands how to do a pitch raise properly. One of the things they do is to lubricate all the points of friction so that if that piano hasn't been tuned in 5 or 10 years, that they could be the strings could be melded to the capo to astro bar in the treble or to the bridges, and you're just tuning it up, could snap strings. So it's a careful process. More than that, even in a best case scenario, they can't just tune it up and expect it to hold. In fact, what they generally do, a tuner will come in and just do a rough tuning first and then a second fine tuning right after. But even that fine tuning won't hold very long. So it usually, once a piano gets that far off pitch, you can expect to have to tune your piano a number of times over the next year or two to get it to stabilize again. And the danger is if the piano has the substantial workings to be able to withstand this kind of stress. So that's in a nutshell what a pitch raise is. You should be aware of it. Now, how could you know if you're going out shopping for a piano, does this piano need a pitch raise? You need a source of pitch. You could have a tuning hammer. You could have any other instrument that you know the pitches of, that if you have a guitar that's just tuned, you could check the reference to that. Anything, harmonica, what do they call it? The pitch pipe. Or, there's applications on phones now. I've got a nice tuning app on my phone. Check the pitch of the piano. A lot of times it won't be completely to a different note. It might just be between two notes, which still entails the same process I just described. So that's it for today. What is a pitch raise? If you have any more questions about pitch raises or any specific pianos, you can email me at robert@livingpianos.com. Look forward to having you next time for a future video. Thanks for joining me.